Hi, it's Tuesday, February 10th, 2015, and I was just pondering on a few things today, and I wanted to go over a couple of words that are really common within our culture and kind of discuss maybe my feeling on it. There are people who use the word straight and gay. And while I like the word gay because it applies to me being a happy person, I don't feel the word straight should be used for heterosexual people. The main reason is because by saying somebody who is heterosexual is straight, you're inferring that everyone else who isn't straight is crooked in some way. Because the opposite of straight would be, well, bent or crooked, or changed in some way. And the thing that people need to realize, and I didn't even know this growing up, I assumed that being in a homosexual relationship or being in a bisexual relationship, anything other than heterosexuality wasn't straight and therefore wrong. It's like an automatic inference, and I think we need to move away from those terms. To be on equal footing with other orientations and to be viewed that way, we kind of need to use the technical terms. Using the word gay is awesome, especially if you're like a happy person and like way outgoing, but like if you're not heterosexual, that doesn't mean that you're not straight. You could be as straight-laced as they come. You could be celibate. You could be a priest in some congregation or anything else that would be considered very straight or straight-laced. Being Having homosexual inclinations that come with you at birth or bisexual inclinations, whether or not you act on them, you're still asexuality. You have several sexualities, and they're all on equal footing. You have bisexual, asexual, transsexual, transgender. That has to do with more gender. Then you've got bisexual, and then you have homosexual. And then there's heterosexual, and so everyone needs to like get along and realize that's the nice thing about the rainbow wristband is it teaches us that we're all parts of one prism. We're all part of a human family, and as that spectrum, they're different colors. Like one color can't accuse the other one of just not being as cool as them, just because there's more of that color. Maybe there's more yellow light than blue light, but that doesn't mean that the blue light isn't straight. So I just want us to start moving away from the idea of calling heterosexual people straight. I think it has to start with us, and of course if you're heterosexual, start referring to yourself as heterosexual, or hetero, because the thing is that because there's negative associations with the word homo or homosexual and even gay sometimes, there's a lot of weight behind it. I think you need to stand by what definition you feel is right for you, but I personally feel that I'm going to stop using the word straight as much as I can for people who are heterosexual, because that just makes an automatic inference that everyone else is just not going in the right direction, like it's a road that's all squiggly or something, but your life isn't like that. You're a beautiful person just the way you are. And I just had like an overwhelming feeling of love and some nervousness about getting on YouTube and becoming very public, considering I have a professional career in acting and modeling. And then I realized that that's very common in the arts. And CEOs, the CEO of Apple came out, and major R&B artists, and just like, there's Lady Gaga, a huge singer. And I realized that people, even CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, they're just coming out. And because of that, I just think, well, gosh, like, it's not a big deal anymore. And soon we're going to be like maybe the last first world country to jump on the bandwagon to say, hey, it's okay for you guys to like who you're going to like as long as you're respectful of laws. And that's what it's all about. is the unification behind a belief, behind the fact that we're all human, and the way we're made is divine. Whether or not other people understand it, you are divine. No matter what your sexual orientation is, your gender orientation, anything in that category, you have the right to be proud, to stand up and, in my case, say, I'm a bisexual male. I'm bisexual. I like girls and I like guys. And while it might be more accurate to call myself a homosexual who is hetero-curious, I know that you don't need to have sexual experiences to know that you're bisexual. You can just be romantically involved with a girl, or sensually involved, like making out a ton. And, if you get arousal with that and then you get arousal with a guy, you might have a draw more towards one than the other for various reasons. But that doesn't mean that you're not bisexual, or that you're not whatever orientation you happen to be. So I think it's important for anyone who's heterosexual, who's just kind of like, well, what does it mean to be, bisexual or gay? And all I can tell you is it is so, so, so hard. Like, people will never understand unless they walked in the shoes of somebody who is LGBT to realize what it feels like going into a room of your family and realizing that the respect will never be there again, only because of religious belief. And that's why I want to encourage people to be inclusive. If you decide to stay in your particular path, make sure that they treat you like gold, that they treat you as an equal, because it's your life and it's your right to decide what religion you're going to be, if you're going to have religion in your life, if you can connect with spirituality or God in a way where you're not going to feel discriminated against. Because I can testify to you that Jesus Christ loves you the same, that you were made this way, you were made divine. And if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, there's Apollo, there's Odin, there's Krishna. There's a lot of deities out there that have texts supporting LGBT stuff, even Tantra. There's homosexual Tantra, and there's a way for you to get away from just the idea of pornography and just the idea of sex, and to move into a spiritual connection with a man, not just physical. And that's why I love my boyfriend so much, is he stays open. He's fairly atheist, a little bit agnostic, but the nice thing is we repaired things, and it's just beautiful to see how that progression has taken place, and to see that he's more open to reaching out and connecting with the divine like I do every day. Am I a perfect person? No. When I get attacked, do I lash out back and sometimes get a little bit defensive of myself? Like, for real, it's my life. It's going on inside me. It really doesn't involve or need anyone else's opinion. But I feel like I have to share my opinion with people who are in the LGBT community, who need support, who are maybe younger, and maybe they're being discriminated against at school. And although it happened for me a little later, when I was in California the first time away from my family, I came out to one of my friends, and there was a lot of anger there, a lot of hostility. And I remember a gun being pulled on me, a knife being pulled on me. I had to disarm both of them. And eventually I had to there were a few international students, and I had to actually hold them down and almost choke one of them out, just because they were attacking me based on my orientation. That kind of stuff happened. When you come out publicly, and even if you just come out to some friends who are not LGBT friendly, they can turn on you in a dime. Your family can too. But the thing is eventually they realize their mistake, and they come around, and they may or may not apologize, but they'll start being your friend again. And although maybe things won't be as close, if you're able to forgive them, things can still become as close as they ever were, as long as there's future mutual respect of the differences of birth. And I hope that that's helpful.